In example 3, we were given that the foci are at the points 5, 1 and negative 1, 1, and that the length of the major axis is 8. So I'm going to go ahead and plot the two foci, and then we will see what we can determine from there. So I'm going to go by ones and on my x and my y axis. So we have one focus at the point 5, 1 right there, and we have another focus at the point negative 1, 1 right here. It must be that the center is directly in the middle of the two foci. So the length of, or the distance between those two foci is 6. And if I take 6 and I divide it by 2, I'm taking half of that distance. That gives me 3. It tells me that the center must be 3 units either to the left of F1 or to the right of F2. And so our center is at the point 2, 1. Our center, or HK, must be there. So our center, and again, I found that by taking how far apart the two foci were and dividing that by 2. So our center is at the point 2, 1. We were given that the length of the major axis is 8. If the length of the major axis is 8, that tells us how long horizontally the ellipse runs. We can tell by looking at what we have plotted so far that this ellipse has a major axis parallel to the x-axis. If the length of the major axis is 8, then A must be half of that. A must be 8 divided by 2, which is equal to 4. And so the distance from the center to one of our vertices is 4. So we know that we have a vertex at the point 6, 1. I moved 4 units to the right of the center, and then moving 4 units to the left of the center, we have another vertex at the point negative 2, 1. So you can see now that the length of my major axis really is 8, how far apart my two vertices are. So let's start finding some more information. If little a is equal to 4, that tells us that little a squared is equal to 16. This value of 3, that was our little c, and so little c squared is equal to 9. We will then use the equation that b squared is equal to a squared minus c squared to find our little b. Our a squared is 16 and our c squared is 9, and so little b squared must be equal to 7. And so that tells us that b is equal to the square root of 7. And so we must move the square root of 7 units above our center and the square root of 7 units below our center to find the 2 points that are above and below it. Square root of 7 is approximately 2.64. So moving about 2.64 units above puts us right there, and moving about 2.64 units below puts us about right there. And so our ellipse looks something like this. And now we can write its equation. Because its major axis is parallel to the x-axis, we know that the a squared must be under the term with the x. And we have all of this information now so that we can fill this out. So we have the equation x minus h, so we will be subtracting 2 squared. That's divided by a squared. Our a squared is 16, plus y minus k squared, so we're subtracting 1, that's squared. That's divided by b squared. Our b squared is 7, and this is all equal to 1. And so that is our equation of our ellipse. I'm just going to go ahead and jot down the points, the coordinates for the vertices. You've already found them, but I will write them down. We had a vertex at the point 6, 1, and another vertex at the point negative 2, 1. And as for our foci, well, we were given our foci, and so we do not have anything to find there.